Thank you very much. The kids are back in school, and I'm very thankful for that. But maybe they are struggling with homework and studying.
I'm sure a lot of them are. So joining us in studio with some tips, we have licensed psychologist Dr. Nicole Beurkens. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
All right, so where do we start? Because obviously I have two teenagers studying, and getting them to make sure that they're taking care of their homework is always a challenge. Is it organization? Is it making time? What is it?
Well, there's several things that can be really helpful actually for kids of all ages. You and I have older kids. You've got younger ones not quite in school yet, but they will be. So a few things that are really important, and actually the skills that we teach for studying and homework kinds of things are so valuable for lots of things as kids grow towards adulthood, right? Time management, all of that stuff. So one of the first critical things is setting up an environment that is helpful for being able to learn and study and memorize the things that you need to do. That tends to mean minimal distractions. You know, you and I were kind of joking before kids said, I'm going to do my homework and lie in my bed with my phone and fall asleep and not be real productive, right? So creating some space in your home that is comfortable for the child. Some kids work better sitting at the kitchen table in a structured area. Some do okay lying on the living room floor, hanging out and, you know, on the couch. But minimizing distractions is a big one, and making sure that they have all the tools they need for the tasks they're going to do. If that's sharpened pencils, if that's a calculator, if that's their computer, whatever that's going to be, that minimizes that, oh, I got to keep getting up and getting things and getting myself distracted. So environment is a big one.
Yeah, and what about time? I feel like how long they should be focused on one task, because I feel like the pressure sometimes is probably what makes it such a challenge.
Well, that is a big deal, and a lot of kids feel really overwhelmed, right? They get home from school, they've been there for 6.5, 7 hours, and now they come home and it's like, oh, I have all of these things to do. And so a few things there that can be helpful. One is, I really like to encourage parents to sit down with kids after school or at some point in that evening time and make a plan for the time that they have that not only includes what they have to get done, homework, studying for tests, maybe chores and those kinds of things, but things that they enjoy and want to do. Because we all feel more motivated to do the things we don't really want to do when we can see that we do have times for some fun things too. So planning for fun and work. And then I think that a lot of kids struggle with understanding the passage of time. So we say, oh, that's only going to take 10 or 15 minutes, especially to young kids. It's like, I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. So a couple of things that can be helpful for just time awareness. One is using timers. So you can use even a good old-fashioned auditory kitchen timer, but I like these new visual timers that actually allow for kids to see the passage of time. So when you say, okay, let's spend 20 minutes doing this, they can actually see what that looks like, and they can watch it tick down. Gives them a much better sense of, am I on track with what I need to do?
Then you walked away and they moved it to 5.
That's right. Oh, I only have the 5 minutes. And this is a really cool strategy. This was a $4 clock at Target. You want something that you can write on just using a plain old dry erase marker. But this helps you map out for kids, whether they're younger kids or even teenagers who really struggle with awareness of time and time management. You can mark off for them how long they're going to spend on things, and either for older kids you can write in, you know, what they're going to do or just block off the time there, but they can see the passage of time, which really helps them stay on track with, ooh, I'm running out of time here, I need to get working on this quicker.
Now, I know, Nicole, you talked about the pressure of it, but how important is it for parents not to push, well, you've got to get A's, because that even adds to the more of the pressure.
Absolutely. I think a much more helpful way to talk about that with kids is we need to do our personal best, because the reality is not all of us have strengths in all academic areas, right? So for some kids, a personal best in math might be a B or a C. They might work as hard as they can for that, and that's their personal best. But if your personal best in a subject area is an A, then you should be expected to do that. So I think it's that idea of focusing on what we are most capable of and pushing ourselves to do our personal best as opposed to a certain letter grade.
There you go.
Great advice.
We'll see you in the 7 o'clock hour.
I'll be back.